Greetings YouTube. Hi friends. I want to make a video review for this really cool mouse that I just got in Amazon. And I just hope it helps people deciding whatever they want and or not. First I'm going to say that I really recommend it. It's really good. I really like it. First I'm gonna say that the picture does not make it justice in Amazon. The actual mouse is so much better looking. It has this mirror finish, smooth sensation. It's like almost it's almost like glass kind of feeling. And it's very shiny, very pretty. This one is probably not as shiny because I've been playing all day and it's covered in fingerprints, which I should probably clean before I make this review, but here we are. So let's talk about the good and then the bad. The good things about it is I like it very much. The side thumb actually helps a lot when you're actually playing. I didn't realize how good it was until I actually started using this mouse. I never before I had a mouse with the rest for your thumb. It actually helps. Oops, I don't wanna. Stop interrupting me, demon. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here so I can keep talking. I should probably. The reason I have the game running is because I do want to show some things in the game. Let's hide over here. Alright, back to the game. Back to the mouse. You can assign all the buttons, the thumb, the DPI, the mouse wheel to any action you want. You can even make macros. The mouse wheel has the obvious actions up and down, but also when you push the mouse wheel down, that's another button. It does not have the option to move the mouse wheel left and right like in some other game in mouse, but that's not a problem in my opinion. It's actually a good thing because when the mouse wheel has so much stuff like that, it's easy to push the wrong key. That's just personal choice. You can change the DPI right there, really easy, up and down. Or if you don't want that, you can actually assign either a macro or a key to these buttons, any keyword key. It has in the side what they call a fire button, which the way they have it set up is you push the button once, and for example in a first-person shooting game, you push it once and your gun will shoot 3 times really fast. For example, I'm not playing those games. I'm playing mostly fantasy MMOs, which is my favorite type of games, but whatever. So yes, you can assign anything you want to any of the buttons. Now let's see about the things I don't like. And for that I'm gonna show the macro software. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the weight. You can remove that tiny lid over there and change the weight of the mouse by installing one of the weights they give you. They give you several ones. Now, when it comes to the software, let's see. Oops, there we go. Software. There we go. That's the software they give you for the mouse. You have your front view, your side view, and this is basically where you assign anything you want to any of the keys, which includes the fire button, the push down the mouse wheel, the move up, move down, or your DPI selection. Basically, you can change everything and anything. It gives you 5 profile options. Oops, DPI is too high. Mouse moves too fast. About the colors, for example, I'm going to show a few color examples. That's the mouse wheel is yellow with the mouse red. Then I have here all green. And then we have here blue. Then we have purple. And finally I have here red again. You can have any color you want. You got the lights and there we go. Change any lights by color. Now those are good things. Those are all good things. But let's talk about the problems now. Let's talk now about the things I don't like. And first, I'm going to show an option that is available in macro creation in other software that I wish this mouse had. The software for creating macros is very simple. Uh, it doesn't give it doesn't give you a lot of freedom to create a macro. And to explain that, I'm going to show an example. Back to World of Warcraft. My keyboard does have the way I like macros to be customized. For example, in an MMO game, usually you have options, keys that you usually spam. You push the key a lot of times. Let's say you have an ability number 2 and that's your main attack, and you have an enemy, and then you attack the enemy and you push the key really fast and really fast and you spam that key. I don't like that. It's not good for the key, it's not good for the keyboard, it's not good for your fingers, it's not good for your nails, and it's not good for the mouse button. So the way I go I solve this problem, I'm going to use my keyboard to demonstrate with an enemy. Right now, I'm just spamming one single ability. I have many other abilities, but I'm using only one. And I am spamming this one ability only by holding down the key or my keyboard. And the reason I can't do that is because my keyboard allows me to make a macro in which I hold. Let's go back to the software. The reason I can do that with the keyboard is because in my keyboard I can make a macro in which I push for number 2. The macro will press down number 2, hold it down for 50-60 microseconds, and then release. And as long as I hold down the key, the keyboard will repeat the macro over and over. Will execute the macro once. If I am still holding down the key, it will execute the macro again and again and again and will cycle. So that way I don't have to go like this really fast and push the button. I just hold the key and the keyboard does the pushing for me. Can't do that in this mouse. In this one you have to go one by one and push fast. And I'm going to demonstrate by showing the macro creation software. So to make a macro, I'm going to make a macro right here. I'm going to profile 1. I'm going to side view. I'm going to make a macro for the button number 8. So I'm going to create here macro. If you already have your macro you want to assign, you just click on the macro and that assigns the macro. In my case I don't have it, I'm going to create it. So macro manager, new, I'm going to name this macro 8. Okay. And here is another problem. Probably it could be because of the resolution of my monitor. I have a 1080 resolution monitor, and you can barely see what's inside this box. This is where you set your delay in fractions of a second, thousandths of a second. 1,000 of these milliseconds equals to 1 second. For example, if I set up the delay to 500, that means half a second. Now the macro I'm going to create is going to perform this action. It's going to press the number 8, hold it down for 60 milliseconds, and then release. So I'm going to change this to 60, which you can barely see. I can barely see. Then I'm going to record the macro, press number 8, stop recording, and there we go. The macro has been created. And it shows the macro right here. Press down numpad 8, hold for 60 milliseconds, and then release. And that's macro 8. Okay. And there we go. I have my macro, apply, and okay. Now, back to World of Warcraft. If I want this mouse to execute a macro constantly, I had to manually push the button over and over and over and over, which I don't like. It's not good for the button, it's not good for the mouse, not good for my fingers, not good for my nails. That's what I'm using the keyboard to. How do I solve this problem? Like this. My abilities in my keyboard or in my character, for example, when I play my rogue, the rogue has a lot more abilities that have to be spammed. For example, here in my demon hunter, not so much. I have abilities that I can use anytime, for example, this and that. I bind those keys to the keyboard. So if I have to spam an ability really fast, I select that with the keyboard. If I have to select a defensive ability, for example here, the Fairy Brand, which reduces the damage my enemy does to me. But I can only activate this once every minute. So hey, it's perfect for the mouse. I have 12 abilities in this top bar. I'm missing one right there actually. These 12 abilities in the top bar are the abilities on the mouse. The button abilities are the ones I have in the keyboard. And just like that, I no longer have the problem. The fact that I cannot spam the abilities in the mouse by holding down is no longer a problem because I do that with the keyboard. Now, to actually show how this works in a game, I will post in a different video, not this one, this one is already too long. A second video in which I will join a dungeon as a tank in a new dungeon and going to do the tanking with this mouse, and hopefully nobody dies, hopefully I don't kill anybody, and everything should be just fine. Anyway, that's gonna be all. Thanks for watching. Peace.